Franklin Building Supply, best places to work in Idaho, 4 years in a row. That would not have happened in 2016. Long story short, in 2016, my family and I arrived in Boise, Idaho for me to take on a position to succeed the current CEO at Franklin Building Supply. He was a second-generation family leader of a business that his dad had co-founded back in 1976. When I arrived, although I was not new to leadership and the CEO seat and business, I was new to the lumber and building material dealer industry, to Idaho, and to this environment. And so what I did for the first few months is I went around and I listened. I listened to our employees on the front line. I listened to our mid-level managers, listened to our upper management to understand what had led to our success over 40 years, but to also understand what was needed for us to be successful in the years ahead. After going through that listening tour, I gathered everybody together, 60, 70 of our core leadership, both on the sales and operations side. And what we were doing was unpacking all of the stuff that I'd learned over a few months, talking to and listening to our frontline employees. In my mind, it was a training session because I was trying to effectuate cultural change. Did they know why we were even in business? Did they care about the individuals? Did they understand the importance and the value of culture? Did they approach their work with humility? One of the things that I think is fascinating about business, and whether you're a Christian CEO or not, is that all of a sudden in the context of a business, we forget to treat people as human beings. And we forget how they learn, how they develop. We want to beef up their skill set so they can work through a spreadsheet faster, they can do a task better. We pump a lot of information into their heads, but we don't go after their hearts. You being the senior leader or the business owner, you're going to have to identify that problem. You've got to ask, are we training? Are we changing the most critical thing? And I think for most organizations, it's the hearts of our people and it's the core culture of the organization. And if you get that right, you've got an opportunity then to have all that other stuff actually absorbed and leveraged to make the business better. We have close to 700 employees and we're spread out at almost 19 locations across Idaho and the state of Nevada. I believe that training, equipping, and developing our people is a mission critical task, so we make sure that we budget both the time and money, the combined resources, to make it happen. For example, 2 years ago, we actually did a 3-day company-wide, all-employee virtual training program that took up a tremendous amount of time and resources, but we thought was absolutely critical. And what I think most folks may find interesting about that training is that probably 2/3 of that focused on what I describe as these soft skills, cultural issues, heart issues. 1/3 of it was how to use this software program better. So 1 to 2 times a year, we'll have a larger group, like of 60, 70 individuals gather, where I'm doing the training directly with them, and where I think it's important for them to hear from me, not because maybe I'm the best trainer in the world, but I'm the one that I think bears the responsibility of articulating to them where we're going, why, and what I expect it to look like on the journey, what that culture is. Aside from those events that may take place once or twice a year, then we break into smaller groups that may be 10 to 15 individuals that are role specific, and then I do a tremendous amount of what I consider kind of discipleship and mentorship one-on-one. I love coming in every day thinking about how we put ourselves in a position to take one more step to help every individual at Franklin Building Supply reach their God-given potential. If I can create that environment through how I train and equip our leaders, then they can deal with all the particulars about making sure they know how to execute a particular task better.